Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com as well as the YouTube channel and NoDQ&A videos affiliate, ringsidenews.com. Thank you guys for taking time out of your holiday to watch NoDQ&A video. I hope you've all enjoyed your holiday and are having a good time. Got your questions here from spring.me/Aaron Rift. Let's get started with the first question here. What do you think about CM Punk and what he implied to when he said that he had zero passion when he faced The Undertaker at WrestleMania? I really feel that CM Punk was frustrated with the questions that he was getting in recent interviews about WWE. You know, people out there are talking about how CM Punk keeps bringing up WWE, and it's not like it's his choice. He's doing the interviews, and he's trying to give people answers. People keep asking him about WWE and what happened there. So I think he's just frustrated with that. And I'm sure that to a degree he was frustrated at the time that he faced Undertaker at WrestleMania. I find it hard to believe that he would have zero passion for that match. I mean, Undertaker is still Undertaker, and it's WrestleMania. It's the biggest show of the year. It is the main event, whether it's the last match or not. Maybe there is some frustrations about not being in the main event in terms of being the last match, but to say that he had zero passion, I mean, that comment really did surprise me. I don't know if he is 100% sincere about that or if he was just frustrated and said that because of everything that's been going on. It's hard to say, but I do feel that even at that time, I'm sure he was frustrated with the direction that he was going in WWE and not really satisfied with his status in the company. I'm sure that's true, but to what degree? I mean, zero passion. I mean, that is a really strong statement to make, to say that you had zero passion about facing Undertaker at WrestleMania. All right, this one comes from Slow Motion Man. I am sick of Triple H putting himself in big WrestleMania matches. If he wants to wrestle, he should book himself like he books Y2J. I hate him picking himself to face Brock, Punk, Bryan, Rock, Sting, Taker, or whoever else is hot. He's not a special attraction. Your thoughts? Well, I have to disagree with that. I do feel that Triple H is a special attraction. He is still one of the biggest stars in WWE history, going back to the Attitude Era. Triple H is still Triple H, and I feel when you use him every once in a while, his name can help elevate a show. And in the case of WrestleMania, I think that Triple H should compete at WrestleMania. I mean, if he's going to compete, he might as well compete at WrestleMania and make a big deal out of it. Why not? To me, I don't really see any problem with him being in a WrestleMania marquee match. Nobody knows better than Triple H, perhaps, how to work a big-time WrestleMania match. He's been on the big stage many times. He's been in those high-profile matches. He knows what to do. So why not have him in those matches? And for the most part, he has put over people at WrestleMania. He put over Undertaker 2 years in a row. And yes, he did beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. That I don't think was the right decision. But besides that, I think that Triple H has done what's best for business. And I'm glad Triple H put over Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. That was a huge match for Daniel Bryan. And Triple H made Daniel Bryan look like $1 million. I mean, say what you want about Triple H, but he went out there and he had a tremendous match with Daniel Bryan, and he put over Daniel Bryan on that night at WrestleMania. So give him some credit. All right, this one comes from Hired Help. Hey Aaron, how's it going, man? Do you think since NXT is such a popular show, and since the network doesn't really have that many fresh shows going up day to day, that we could see NXT get a 2-hour show each week in the near future? Thanks, Dude Ski. As much as I enjoy NXT, I think that there is enough WWE programming right now. To me, there's too much wrestling programming between Raw, SmackDown, and then if you really want to get crazy, main event, and then NXT on top of all that. It's just too much television. And the only way that I would want to see more NXT would be if WWE cut one of their main shows, like got rid of main event or got rid of superstars or did something to reduce the amount of WWE programming. To me, just another hour of wrestling, even if it's NXT, it's just too much. And I'm also worried about NXT possibly becoming overexposed. You know, sometimes it's best to just have it in small doses and not do too much, and make it more special when you don't see it that often. And when you do get a 2-hour NXT show, it's something really special. So I do have mixed feelings about it. And I don't know if adding another hour is really the right idea right now. All right, got this question here from Vic Venom Lives. Hi, Aaron. Do you think at this point it is wise for Hulk Hogan to have one last retirement match in WWE, or is Triple H right when he said Hogan has nothing else to prove? Who do you think should be his opponent if it does happen? Well, I think Triple H saying that is the nice way of saying Hulk Hogan really has no business being in a WWE ring at his age, in his condition. Now, Hulk Hogan does make a good point when he talked about how his last match was not in WWE, but rather in TNA. So one would think that Hulk Hogan should have his final match in a WWE ring, since he is, after all, a WWE guy, and the bulk of his career was in WWE. That's where all of his most memorable moments took place, besides the NWO, of course. But for the most part, you know, Hulk Hogan made his name in WWE, and that's where he should end his career. So you can make an argument for that. I think the reality is Hogan's body is broken down. Now, if Hogan could somehow pass a WWE physical, and he could somehow, with enough training, get in good enough shape to do one more match, then I think I would be okay with it. I think I would be okay if Hogan could physically do something decent. I would be fine with him wrestling one more time. But right now, it doesn't really seem like Hogan can pull it off. And I think that if he was going to have a retirement match in WWE, it would have happened already. It would have happened last year at WrestleMania 30. They would have brought him in, you know, had him do the training, and they would have had him wrestle WrestleMania 30. The fact that they didn't, you know, that really does say a lot. I think that tells you that he's not really in that kind of shape to be working another match, especially at WrestleMania. You know, I don't want another Bret Hart versus Vince McMahon. I certainly do not want to see that. So if Hulk Hogan's going to come back, he needs to be able to at least perform at somewhat of a high level if he's going to be at WrestleMania. All right, I'll be back in a moment with more of your questions. All right, welcome back to NoDQ&A video. Got this question here from Bader1993. Hey Aaron, what is your overall review of WWE pay-per-views for 2014? Which one stands out the most in your opinion? Please answer in video. Thank you. Overall, I think that WWE pay-per-views have been very good. I think that the middle part of the year, you had the best WWE pay-per-views, you know, Payback and Extreme Rules, WrestleMania. Those shows were all really strong. It got bad the last couple months. The thing about WWE pay-per-views in 2014, you didn't have that many bad matches on pay-per-view. Most of the matches were good. Some were great. You had a few bad Divas matches, but, you know, that is the norm. And there were a lot of Diva matches that were actually quite decent and tolerable. You know, I remember several pay-per-views where there weren't really any bad matches on the entire show. The problem, especially with the more recent pay-per-views in the later part of the year, would be the booking and the storytelling. It just wasn't that good, and you know, it really brought down the shows. And you know, of course, you had the Royal Rumble, not the best way to kick off 2014. But yeah, overall, I would say WWE had a good year for pay-per-view events, but it did get worse as the year went on, especially the last couple of months, I would say. All right, final question here today from CDrag5641062. Do you think the new team, The Ascension, is just a rehash of Legion of Doom with the same face paint and football shoulder pads? Do you think WWE is doing it as a tribute to the Attitude Era fans or just bad creative? Please answer in video. It could just be they don't really have a solid idea for the tag team, so they just try to mimic previous tag teams. That could be what's going on here. But then again, we haven't actually seen them in the ring yet. on the main roster with this updated gimmick. So I will not be quick to judge. I will see how this plays out. And they're two big guys. They're two scary looking guys. I think that they will be given every opportunity to succeed in WWE, and we'll see what happens. It's something different, and as long as this tag team evolves and they develop into something unique, I think they'll do well in WWE. So let's just give it time and not jump to conclusions that this is going to be a flop. And of course, people call me out for saying, "Well, you judged the New Day based on those vignettes." That was just bad right from the get-go. But for this, I mean, I think it has potential, even if it does come off like a Legion of Doom ripoff. I mean, I still feel it has potential based on the promos and based on what they've done in NXT. All right, that'll wrap it up for this edition of No DQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for updates on the Royal Rumble. Keep voting in the 2014 No DQ Year-End Awards. There's still a little under a week left to vote. And I will see you guys next time for more No DQ&A video.